We continue with our first of 3 competitions tonight, a 5-minute segment with Isaac and Suke. And now we have Casey Box, who has donned the headset. Delilah's got 5 minutes on the clock. And Casey, I'll send it over to you.
All right, thank you very much, Swag. I am Casey Box, sitting in with Isaac and Suke. And gentlemen, let's talk NBA basketball. The Blazers about to tip off with the Los Angeles Clippers. They're in a 4 seed right now. They're only a game out of the 3rd spot. They're only a game out of the 6th spot. So you can definitely guess there's going to be a lot of movement before the end of the season. But as you look at the teams that are competing for 1 through 8, which are the teams for you guys that stand out as legitimate title contenders?
1 through 8?
1 through 8. You think the West
Memphis,
is that deep?
Well, no. I just meant you were saying anybody in the playoff picture. I would say Memphis can win it. I think Golden State can win it. Oklahoma City can win it if they're healthy. I can't say the Spurs can't win it.
Yeah, it's hard to count them out. If they get hot, it's a dangerous team.
Who am I missing?
I mean,
so
Dallas,
Houston, Portland, Clippers.
And that's it.
I'm going to say no. I think those 4.
Those 4?
Yeah.
Suke, who you look at in this Western Conference as the legitimate contenders?
Well, obviously, I think Memphis and Golden State, to me, are the 2 best teams. But you look beyond that, Oklahoma City might be the world's toughest 8 seed if they end up sliding in. If Oklahoma City gets healthy, then obviously I think Oklahoma City is a top 3 team. I don't buy the Clippers as much as everyone else. Even if Blake Griffin comes back, something about LA that I don't particularly trust. I think Portland probably falls in that category. Dallas falls in that category. I suppose anything could happen. I actually like Houston maybe a little bit better than some people do. Again, if Houston gets healthy and if Harden and Dwight Howard can grow up together and maybe get along a little better than what they did last year, I think Houston has a chance to be a sleeper. But I don't mean to be boring, but I'm probably with Rob in that you take the top 2 and then Oklahoma City and San Antonio. But in the West, nothing would surprise me. I think any one of these teams can get to the conference finals.
Yeah, the problem I see with Houston is Dwight Howard's still out for a couple of weeks. And obviously, if you're a Houston fan, you're realizing you're not winning a championship without a dominant center. I mean, that's kind of just the history of the NBA. You got to have a big man to dominate the inside. But the way that Dwight Howard is going to change the dynamic of that offense, I mean, those guys are running and gunning, throwing threes up at a historic pace. So for Dwight to come into the middle, to want the ball, to want the offense to go through, and when Harden has established himself as the dominant presence, the undisputed number 1 of that team, I think there's going to be challenges for them to really settle in, and in a 5 or 7 game series actually win 4 of those.
Well, they had that problem last year.
They did, and that's why I said maybe there's some growing up that's gone on, and hopefully Dwight Howard is mature enough when he does come back to realize block shots, rebound the basketball, and get your garbage points. Look at what Houston's playing at right now. Houston is a top 5 team without the most dominant big guy in the NBA in Dwight Howard. If he can come back with 10 games left to play and find a way to work into this, that to me is like getting a Kevin Durant or getting a Westbrook back for Oklahoma City.
It's huge because the end of the Blazers series last year, they started going to Howard, and that series changed.
Yeah.
Houston was in control. They lost the series. But Houston was playing a lot better when they did that. It's just that James Harden wasn't playing very well. So if they can figure out that dynamic, they do have the talent. I still don't think they can do that, which is why I didn't put them in my you're talking about winning the entire thing.
Yeah,
I don't think Houston can win the whole thing.
Well, I think it's a similar situation for the Clippers. With Blake Griffin out, Chris Paul has stepped up, and we're seeing the old Chris Paul, the dominant, elite number 1 point guard in the entire league. You bring Blake Griffin back. You clog up the center. It complicates the way that he wants to manipulate the defense. For me right now, without Blake Griffin, I fear them in a series. DeAndre Jordan is just a beast on the inside.
Well, are you a Blazer fan?
I am a Blazer fan.
Yeah, I would fear them in a series too. I think they're really good. I don't know that they have what it takes to go all the way. But last year, remember, they took Oklahoma City to the wire in the second round, and they beat Golden State and then went and beat or almost beat Oklahoma City. They're tough. I'm with you. I think Chris Paul has another run in him. I like Doc Rivers, and you're right, DeAndre Jordan, man, that guy is playing great. So if they can meld Griffin back in there. The Clippers are a team I don't think the Blazers want to see in the first round.
Absolutely.
But then who do you want to see?
Yeah,
I mean, outside of Dallas, I think Dallas is a team that I just doesn't seem to have it all together and some infighting there. To me, the only team that I have circled is that if you had one matchup that you would like, Dallas. I think if Portland plays Dallas, I like to get through that first round. Outside of that, I think you're talking about a coin flip.
All right, and that is the final word on the Western Conference playoffs. Let's send it back to Swag.
Thank you, Casey. Casey Box, everybody. It's that time of the year. Break. As we start watching. Hang on, Casey. Oh, you can step over here. I want you to hear the comments. We'll get them first from Isaac and Suke.
Oh.
How'd that go with Casey?
Oh, he's great. That was good. Yeah, very smooth. I am a little taken back by how much you look like Sukanik. And I don't know, if you took off your glasses, I don't know if we can hire you, man.
All right.
I might shave the beard and drop a toupee on for next week if you get by.
That's a lot of sexy on one show.
I have nothing to do with it. You'd have to talk to the judges.
You'd be the meat in a Sukanik
We don't need
sandwich.
another Sukanik.
All right, let's get some words from the judges. We'll start with Luke Anderson.
I thought it was good. That's a tough segment. I mean, I remember doing that last year, and I feel like you kind of have to revert to almost a control position because there's a lot of personality. I would have liked to have seen a little bit more come out, but I thought you showed your knowledge really well, and you got into the topic maybe a little bit late. I think you gave them a lot of room at the beginning. It's kind of the opposite of the way Jarvez started, where he kind of thrust his personality in first, then let the topic come back to him, where I think you just jumped right into the topic. It was good. I mean, these criticisms are really small because it's a tough topic, but I thought you held your own. You did a good job. And
Ryan Cooley.
Well, Dusty was just saying that too. I mean, where Jarvez was maybe more like a 1, you were more like a 2, which is good. I mean, you brought a lot to the conversation. It's tough. Those guys talk a lot. They know, and they know a lot. And I thought you hung right there with them. And I didn't really notice a difference from their opinion to your opinion, which is great because they've been doing it a while. So I thought all in all, man, you did a great job.
Well done, Casey. Take a little break. We'll be back for round 2 in a little bit.